Thomas and the Hurricane. A hurricane's forced wind was sweeping across the island of Sodor. Thomas, Percy, and Toby listened anxiously as it howled around their shed. It rattled the windows and moaned in the roof. It was even strong enough to shake the heavy wooden doors. Thomas, Percy, and Toby did not get very much sleep that night. When their drivers came the next morning, none of the engines wanted to go out. "It's much nicer in here," said Percy.
"Warm,"
added Toby.
"I know railway where trains don't run on windy days,"
said Thomas hopefully.
"Ha ha ha, so do I. I'm the one not on it,"
shivered Thomas. The wind was cold as well as strong, and Annie and Clarabelle didn't like it that much either. There weren't many passengers that morning. They all wanted to stay indoors, and Thomas didn't blame them.
"Lucky things,"
He thought to himself. When Thomas reached the station by the river, he was astonished to see footballers playing in a nearby field. One team had red jerseys and the other team had blue.
"Come on, it's part of the local competition. At the end of the season, the winner gets a silver cup."
James was waiting at the station. He didn't mind the wind and said and even boasted about it.
"My train was dead on time. A little bit of wind can't stop me."
Just then the wind blew so hard that the station roof shook, and so did something else, in fact.
"Just look at that signal,"
exclaimed Thomas. But James couldn't see, because suddenly the signal wasn't there anymore. The wind had blown it down. "Help!" said Thomas as two more signal posts crashed to the ground.
"Let's get out of here."
The firemen went to the signal box to find out what they should do.
"We can't move without the signal. How do we know if we're safe?"
"Well, it's not safe here either,"
snorted James. The drivers laughed, but they did move the engines along the platform as far as they dared. And lucky they did, for just then the whole platform canopy collapsed and wood chips flew everywhere, scratching Clarabelle's paint. At last a man with 2 red flags came and signaled the trains away. James was not boasting about being first anymore and was just happy that no one was hurt. By the time they reached the curve by the football ground, they were going well. Thomas was amazed because the footballers were still playing. Then suddenly, as they were going around the curve, the guard's emergency brake went hard on. There in front of him was a large tree right where the wind had left it. Thomas stopped just in time. Then his driver looked back and saw 3 footballers, accompanied by the guard, running towards them, waving their red jerseys. "We thought you might not stop in time," panted the footballers as they came up close to Thomas. The next day, with the help of Trevor, they moved away the big tree and cut it up into small pieces. A week later, there was a party at the station by the river. All the engines were there, and Sir Topham Hatt gave the footballers a framed certificate to commemorate them of the day they saved the train.